Greetings, everyone. Happy Monday. Today is the day that the moon governs, and the moon is currently, today is the day that the moon governs, and the moon is currently in Aquarius. We are starting a new cycle. For those of you who are interested in joining Daughters of the 13 Moons, we would love to have you. Today is the last day. Tomorrow might be the last day, but I think today is the last day to join. So if you're interested, greetings, Chef Amira. How are you doing, darling? It's good to talk. Good to see you here. And okay, my mind is doing a whole lot of things right now. Okay, so we're in a new season, Taurus season. We're in Taurus season. So that brings in a whole new energy. And if you're paying attention to your feelings, you will feel it. You will feel the energy of Taurus, where Aries was reactive and fiery and scattered and not really in control of itself. Taurus is the opposite. Taurus is slow and feeling and methodical and comfort driven, food, music, earth. It's a very different energy. So it's important for you as we are in this earth experience, as well, that's what they call it. They told us it's earth. They told us it's earth. Who knows what it really is, but they told us it's earth. And as we're here, learning how to feel the energies support us when we understand that the sun has moved into a different place. And you can feel it. So when the sun moved into Taurus immediately, literally the sun moved into Taurus, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday at like noon. And all of a sudden I had to have a pizza. Like I had had a pizza in my freezer. It had been there for 3 weeks. That was like a frozen pizza that was ready made from this company that has like sourdough, because bread is really challenging for me. And so I had this pizza in there for 3 weeks. And literally when the sun went in the Taurus, I turned the oven up to 450 and cooked that pizza and ate it. And it was so hot that it burned the roof of my mouth. Like I had to have it so bad. So this is Taurus. It's about the food and the music and the feeling. It's a very sensual, slow energy. It's not a fast energy. It's going nowhere in a hurry. It doesn't even have anything to say. Okay. It's literally like, it's all feeling, it's all sensory, it's all, does this feel right, does this taste good, does this sound right, is that color right? It's all of that. It's all about your possessions and your body and things like that. So look at these flowers, y'all. I bought these flowers yesterday at this restaurant. This little sad rose. Hello, little sad rose. It's a sad little rose, but I just love these flowers because these little flowers are all so happy and dancy. And then the rose is sad. It's like, the rose is like a 3-year-old little girl that couldn't get her way. So she's like not going to be happy like everyone else. And then these flowers back here, like this is all Taurus though. This is Taurus. Like when I close my eyes and imagine a field of flowers that I want to run through and feel like freedom in, this is what I imagine. And this is Taurus. So we're going to come here. Let me see. And always, every morning, I start my morning with fire. Because fire is the purifying essence. And I made a post yesterday about my cauldron. I don't always burn, but I do burn once a month. Like, look at my cauldron. You see inside of that thing? That's lots of burn. That's fear and shame and doubt and worry and competition, all burned up in my cauldron, because that's where I take my shadow to. After I do my shadow work, when it comes up, when it shows itself, I take it to the cauldron and I burn it. But I also have a candle every day just to honor the energy. So Venus rules Taurus. Taurus colors are more like green and earthy colors. but I don't have any of those right now because I've run out of those. So I'm literally using pink because pink is also associated with Venus, and Venus rules Taurus. And then I got a little coal here. We're going to come and start a little fire on it. And so put some fire on this. And these are the things that I get when I go hiking. Like if I see a pine tree, I'll just take a branch off because I want to bring the earth element, the forest element into my home because I'm a part of nature and nature is a part of me. So in the small ways that I can, I just bring nature home because I live in the city. And the city has a way of wiping out my connection to nature. So I do this every day to honor the elements, to honor the elements with the earth, fire, water. I don't have water here, but we're about to go make some cacao right now, and I'm going to use water for that. And because we're following the nodes, and the nodes are connected to the shifts of the moon, and the nodes are connected to the shifts of the moon, and the moon reflects the light of the sun. This month, we are working on harnessing our sensory energy. And the moon is currently in Aquarius and the sun is in Taurus. So these are both fixed energies. Taurus is fixed. It's not moving. Like I said, it ain't going nowhere fast. Aquarius is fixed air. And so what we're doing with this air energy and the Taurus, they are square. It's a square. So squares mean you got to make something. You have to use the energy. It's not going to come to you easily. You're going to have to really work for it. So one of the things, and let's go make a cacao. One of the things that I have been really working with in my life lately, which I'm coming to a close on, and I'm so grateful. It's been powerful. Is healing trauma from my family. And y'all, it's been painful. Don't you love wildflowers? It's been really painful to face the shadows that are born inside of me from my family system. Okay, I'm going to come and read you guys' comments in a minute because I want to stay with the story, but I'm so excited to hear what you guys have to say. So I've been working on healing my karma with my family. And what that shows up for me as personally is this abandonment of myself for the acceptance of others. And it's such a deep abandonment because I remember when I first started this work. Now, let me tell you guys, I've been doing this work for years. For years, I've been doing this work. And I had been doing this work for like 15 years, not this work, but spiritual work, healing work. And it just dawned on me one day. Like I went into myself and was like, I can't feel nothing. Like I don't want to be with myself. I am so not interested in me, in this system. The me that I know only wants the attention of others. That's what I got to see. Like the me that I am didn't want my own time, energy, didn't think it was valuable, didn't see any real connection or value in it, only really wanted the connection and the attention of others. That is an extremely painful realization, or was for me. And what happens is I see it in my family. I see it in the women in my family. I saw it in my mother, who her whole life was dedicated to making sure some man was interested in her. And, and so she would bend and do all, like she was cooking and cleaning and flexing and all this stuff to get them to be interested in her. And so I inherited that pattern. Let me get a pot, y'all. I'm coming. So I inherited the pattern that my mother, hold on one second. I inherited the pattern. You guys can hear me, so I'm gonna just come over here. I'm gonna get some water. I inherited the pattern that my mother had of seeking male validation for her sense of value. Like it was everything, you know, and a woman, she was a sex worker. So of course that would be a part of it. Possibly, I don't know, but it was different in my mother. In my mother, it was like she literally didn't feel a sense of worth if she didn't have a man. And I mean, if you can imagine, that is a really painful thing to carry. And when I saw it in myself, what it felt like in my body, if there was a feeling in my body associated with it. And when I didn't have a man in my imagination that I could cling to, a man that I had a story about, like a possibility. When I didn't have a possibility, I would feel so worthless and like I was going to die. And I'm going to tell you guys what I really discovered in doing the work was that because I was exposed to sex very early, not because I was molested, because I was in the same room with my parents having sex with one another when I was an infant, and they were a couple. But there was something dark in the experience because my father was a pimp and my mother was a sex worker. I took it on, like I absorbed that very dark shadow. And so as soon as puberty hit for me, I came undone, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys what I put into my cacao. So this is blue flag. I put a couple of drops of blue flag, and then I'm going to come back to the story. I put blue flag because it helps heal my inner child, because that's what I'm talking about. I put dream, an herb called dream, because I have a Pisces rising, and I've done all the research in my natal chart, and I happen to know, because I have a Pisces rising, I'm in a living dream. I'm in a waking dream. My world functions through my subconscious, and it functions through this fluid kind of experience. So I use this so that I can ground into it, because otherwise my shit is just all over the place all the fucking time. Lavender is for my nervous system, because I have a Gemini moon and a Virgo sun, and they're both ruled by Mercury. And so my nervous system can get overrun. Yarrow, because I'm very scary. Like literally there is this thing in me that's like always scared. It's the nervous system energy that just feels shaky like this. And so the yarrow calms and helps me be able to move through, have the courage to face the things that are going on inside of me. It's just stories inside my head. And then rose for self-love. So my mama, so when I just got to the point that I just always felt really insecure if I didn't have a man in my life, and or a boy or a teenager, you know what I mean? Like, because it started when I was really young, and it started because my father wasn't really present, even though my father died when I was 13. So, you know, that changed everything. And he was murdered. He was pushed out of a window. That's horrible. And I just had a lot of trauma that I was carrying, and the trauma made me feel like I needed somebody outside of me to make me feel secure. And that could easily translate into sexual experiences. And as I started doing a lot of deep healing womb work, and a lot of shadow work. One night I was doing some meditation and I actually felt an entity leave my womb, literally. You cannot make this shit up. It is so intense. I felt an entity leave my womb. And what was a trip about that was that I, as a young person, what always felt like something was inside of me. It was really weird. Like, it didn't make sense to me, except that I knew that my mother was a prostitute while she was pregnant with me. So she was having sex with vampiric men while she was, first of all, she was 17, right? Pregnant 17, having sex with vampiric men. And when I got to be a certain age, I just could feel that energy inside of me. And then one day I'm meditating, like literally doing self-love practices, and I feel the energy leave me. And so that probably happened about 5 or 6 years ago, where I felt the energy leave me. But I've had to learn how to repattern my behavior because the entity went away, but my behavior had to shift. And that has been the work of reprogramming my own psyche, my own sense of self and identity. So I'm not over related to my mother. I'm not so connected to her that I'm still experiencing the karmic patterns. But lately, as these retrogrades have been happening, Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, it's almost like, dare I say, I'm in some of the final stages. I don't want to be arrogant and say it's the final stages. For all I know, it could be fucking beginning stages. I really am not clear. I just know I've been doing this shit a while. Let me get my milk. I have been doing this a while. Today I have Milkamadinia. So it's milk made with macadamia nuts. So as Venus and Mercury have been retrograde, I have been really cleaning it up. And how I have been seeing it, because like I said, I live in a dream world, my reality shows me what's going on inside of me. So my niece has been going through a deep thing around a breakup she's having, and she's 30 something. And it's been really interesting because the things she says out loud to me are the things that I used to say to myself that I didn't have anybody to talk to. 20 some years ago, this work was not popular. 20 some years ago, nobody fucking knew. And like, it was nothing. Nobody knew about mental health. 25, it was just a completely uncommon thing. So I put a lot of that stuff away because people would just think I was crazy. I mean, and I did a lot of silly shit too. Don't get me wrong. Like my son's father, before we were married, I've told this story before. One morning I was so convinced that he was the love of my life. And I went and parked and sat out in front of his house at like 5 o'clock in the morning and waited until the sun rose so that I could go and tell him, like, you are the love of my life. And what are you doing? And I finally go knock on the door, and he said, Monique, I have company. And I think I could see the woman in the back, right? Like, so these are the kinds of, I was just like chasing, like it felt like life or death for me. And so as I'm listening to my niece talk about it, I'm like, wow, that is what as I'm listening to her, I'm hearing all the things that I didn't have language for, that I was ashamed of, that I had guilt around, that I didn't know how to deal. I'm hearing it all. And so I'm almost like reliving it on some level, but reliving it from a place of love and compassion, showing up for her, giving her direction, the parts of myself, because I feel frustrated sometimes, like some of the things that I experience, the things that I experienced in myself, like really believing that a man would be my safety and security, that I couldn't do anything. Like I hear that in her. And so we're working to heal it, because this is the family pattern. This is the pattern that my mother had, that her mother, I mean, it's just, this is how stuff runs through the systems. The system of families is what I'm saying. Um, okay, hold on. I want to blend this a little bit. Yeah. So these patterns, these behaviors, and they can show up in multiple ways. Mine just happens to show up around how I relate to the masculine. And what I'm beginning to see now that I've become aware of it is that I'm capable of communicating my needs. I'm capable of taking care of myself. I'm capable of meeting my own need. I'm no longer thinking that I need to have a partner in order for my needs to be met. I can do it myself. But I had to love myself. I had to believe that I had to believe beyond the energetic experience and imprint of my mother, because that's what I was running on. This scarcity, this emptiness, this deep experience of worthlessness, no sense of value. And now that I had to face that, and to face that stuff, it hurts, you guys. That shit is painful. I don't know if any of you guys have done that work already, or if you if you've done work that just is very painful, or if you have work that is very painful. I don't think everybody has it, but it's been very painful, and I feel like I'm coming on the other end of it. And what it has taken honesty, showing up, vulnerability, transparency, and herbs. Herbs. Like, I'm literally taking something right now, a homeopathic dose of something called acotine. And it's toxic, and it literally is supporting me and breaking my dependency on the external reality, breaking my dependency on validation, breaking my dependency on needing affirmation from others. Like, this shit is something, you guys. And I gotta tell y'all, I love it. The work is not easy, but I fucking love it, because it always opens up into something that is beautiful. Okay, so with that, I'm going to read the statements. I'm going to read you guys' comments. So Chef Jade the doula. I love that. That says so much. A chef and a doula? You cooking and birthing? You creative. You are really, really good. I love that. Chef and a doula. I love it. Also working on my mood board for branding to make sure the colors are aligned and feeling I want my customer. Yes, come on, Taurus season. That's right. You resonate with this. Okay, I love that. That's deep. A lot of us can relate. I definitely can. Yes, and here's what I want you to know. Please do the work around it. If you can relate to it, do the work, because you won't be able to move forward. The thing that I've seen is that this behavior blocks my money, it blocks my flow. These belief systems, these narratives, these stories, these stored up karmic patterns block your capacity to actually create. So you must be responsible for it. It's a very interesting experience. And this is why I create these spaces, so that we can heal, because the world is changing and we have to be different. She said, yes, I've been in it, and I'm very passionate about intergenerational healing. Yes. Okay. I've been doing the work alongside my mother as well, and it's a painful gift. Oh, God bless you and your mama. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. But I gotta say that the fact that we have information and we have one another, and I have my business partner, Gabrielle. She is so supportive to me. She's a much younger woman. She's 35, and she just has the courage to tell me what she sees in me that I can't see in myself. It's everything. It's everything. I definitely have the work. I've been working through my self-worth wounds for years. Sometimes it's men, sometimes it's children or the title, but I've been rewriting the narratives and around yes. That's right. That's right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is my role. This is my rent for being here on earth to come and share the process. The vulnerability piece is not easy for me. It really is. There's a great deal. I feel like I have a cauldron of shame. Somebody asked, what do I do with the ashes? You know what? I have not, I don't know yet. Like, this is how they piled up so much. I don't know what I'm going to do with the ashes, but I think I'm going to do some research to find what I should do with them. I will probably bury them in the earth. I will probably bury them in the earth. I love you. Who is this? Who is this calling me Mo? Because when people call me Mo, it's so endearing. Do we know each other in real time? Like, are you do you have another name and I know you in person? Yes. So I will probably bury the ashes in the earth. I will do a sacred ceremony and take them to the earth and take them to a tree or something and just give thanks for all the healing that I've been able to do, all the things that have been burned and stuff. Oh, hey, Jade. Okay, great. Yeah. Um, all the things that have been burned inside of me and take it to a tree and burn it, just really um, give it over. So the moon in Aquarius, the sun in Taurus, we are starting a new leg of this experience with these nodal transits. And what we want to begin to refurbish this month is our really how we feel about ourselves. Self-esteem, like literally self-esteem. And your self-esteem can't be anchored in another person. Your self-esteem can't be anchored in anything external. It's not anchored in what you have. It's anchored in how you feel, and how you feel determines what you have. And that's the trick of this reality. We have been anchoring our self-esteem in what we have. That's backwards, because what you have is temporal. The things you have are not yours, really. They're like this earth realm. I have had the benefit and the challenge of burying a lot of people who are close to me. And like, it's like, oh, my mother had this thing and she loved it so much. And now she gone and I got it and I don't even give a fuck about it. You know what I mean? Like, my grandmother died and gave me a case of fucking china. I don't want it. You know what I mean? But cause, cause, cause that's not her. Like, I don't want the things. The things have their place, but when we don't really have ourselves, our things own us. And that's the trick of understanding Taurus, because people who have a lot of Taurus energy can be very materialistic. And I have some friends who are Taurus, like that Taurus moon. I got friends, I can go to their house every time I go. It's like 3 new pairs of shoes and no judgment, right? But it's like, what's the core of it? What's the motivation behind it? The things that we collect, right? The things we collect. I have been really cleaning my house out and getting rid of a lot of things, and noticing how easy it is to get trapped with things, especially in this Western capitalistic consumerism culture. And so I'm now beginning to make sure that the things that I have are things that I actually that serve me, and I'm grateful to have them, and they're not just taking up space. So I've started taking care of plants, you guys, and my plants are doing so good. They hadn't always been doing good, but they're starting to do good now. Let's see. I got a little plant bar. I don't necessarily love the bar because it's black and fake wood and all that kind of stuff, but I really wanted my plants to all be in one space, so I love that. Like, look at that. Oh, this is me bringing the forest into my house. So I've just been like, this plant right here, this philodendron, I think that's the name of it, just is so happy, like just sprouting new leaves, almost a new leaf every 3 or 4 days. It's really powerful. This one right here, like I just, it's very important for us to take care of things, like to care for things, not take care of things, but to have something to care for, because it makes a difference in your own system. Like, so caring for my animals um is very healing for me. Caring for my plants is very healing for me. Caring for myself is very healing. But caring for my house, yesterday I just, my niece was over and I was like, okay, I'm about to mop my floor. And I kept making a joke. I was telling her, whenever I feel like I need a facelift, I mop my floor. Because when I mop my floor will be like, okay, we're going to tighten your eyes up. Because my medicine is different. And so I just, doing, like, literally caring for things, nurturing things. This is the energy that makes us feel good, makes us feel valuable when we are in care for ourselves and others. And it's not about a lot of words. It doesn't have to be about things. It's really about an energy, a feeling. And that's what we're up to. Um, he said, "That's my mom. You guys are both Tauruses, and she is always buying something." Yes, it is a whoo, that Taurus energy will shop like nobody's business. Oh my goodness. I have the moon in the second house. It's not a Taurus moon, but it's in the Taurus moon placement. And I can just consume stuff. I can just eat, and things are so pretty. And oh my God, I love it so much. And one day when I was about a decade or so ago, I remembered it was like, I opened my closet and I had these shoes, and I hadn't worn them, and I was like, I remember how much I had to have these shoes, and I haven't even put them on, right? So this is like like I always ask myself, what's that feeling that makes me feel like I gotta go buy this, or I gotta have, what is that feeling? What's that feeling really trying to tell me? What does that feeling really want? This is Taurus, okay? This is the thing. What is really motivating me? Why do I want to talk to this person? Why do I want to, you know what I mean? What is actually the feeling behind it? Because that is how we literally begin to access our true power. All right, you all. Peace and blessings. If you need support, you can reach out to me at healwithmoonmama.com. If you are interested in joining the Daughters of the 13 Moons, today is the final day for this cycle. We're going to be working on abundance, because that's what Taurus is, abundance, and our central energy, our ability to feel. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Bye bye.